All right, listen up. Here we go. No sugarcoating, no fluff, just the raw reality of what's really going on. We're diving into something that's been simmering for far too long, and now the pot's boiling over. This is about power plays, loyalty, and consequences, and it's playing out in the most public, brutal way possible. You think you know the royal family? Think again. So here's the deal. King Charles, yes, the man who spent decades waiting for this moment, carefully crafting his image, biding his time, has just made a move that's left even seasoned royal watchers stunned. Prince Harry, the king's own son, has been cut out of crucial royal plans. But wait, it gets better. While Harry's on the sidelines, King Charles has reportedly been having private discussions with Prince Andrew Starr. Let that sink in for a second. Andrew. The man embroiled in controversy, scandal, and disgrace. But somehow, is still in the room. Now, you might be thinking, what's going on here? Why would Charles push Harry away and cozy up to Andrew? Well, the answer isn't as simple as it looks. This isn't just about Harry. This, my friends, is about Meghan Markle. And don't roll your eyes just yet. Because whether you love her or hate her, you can't deny that Meghan has been a game-changer in the royal dynamic. But not in the way she probably hoped. Insiders are saying that her presence, her actions, and her influence have pushed Harry further and further away from the monarchy he was born into. And now, it seems the palace has had enough. Let's break it down. Meghan Markle comes into the picture, and from day one, it's been drama. From the infamous Megxit, where she and Harry stepped down as senior royals, to those sit-down interviews where she aired out the royal family's dirty laundry, it's been a constant stream of tension. And look, fair enough, people have their grievances, and the royals aren't saints. But the way Meghan's gone about it? It's rubbed a lot of people, especially within the palace, the wrong way. Now, here's where it gets juicy. Sources are saying that King Charles no longer sees Harry as someone he can trust. And why? Because of Meghan's influence. Her constant public criticism of the royal family, her media appearances where she paints the monarchy in a negative light, and even her alleged meddling behind the scenes, all of it has created what insiders are calling a toxic atmosphere. And let's not forget Harry's memoir, Spare Star. That book was like a grenade tossed into the middle of the royal family. The revelations, the accusations, it was a full-blown PR nightmare. And who was right there, guiding him through it all? Meghan. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about words or public perception anymore. This is about action. King Charles has reportedly excluded Harry from a recent high-level strategy meeting. This wasn't just any meeting, either. It was held at Prince Andrew's Windsor residence, yes, Andrews, and it involved discussions about potential financial and diplomatic ties with Chinese organizations. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. Prince Andrew, the man who's been an absolute disgrace to the royal family, was deemed trustworthy enough to be in the room. Harry? Not even invited. Why? Because the palace doesn't just see Harry as a risk. They see Meghan as the real problem. Insiders are saying that her history of divisive behavior has made the family question not just Harry's judgment, but his loyalty. There's a genuine fear that anything discussed in confidence could end up in the wrong hands or, worse, in the headlines. And you know what? They might have a point. Meghan's track record speaks for itself. From criticizing the Commonwealth, which, by the way, is a cornerstone of the monarchy's global influence, to her alleged attempts to modernize the institution, it's been one misstep after another. And every time she speaks out, Harry's ties to his family get thinner and thinner. Meanwhile, King Charles is facing one of the most challenging periods of his reign. He's juggling increased responsibilities, navigating public scrutiny, and dealing with his own health issues. The last thing he needs is more division within the family. And that's exactly what Meghan seems to bring. So, what does Charles do? He makes a choice. He prioritizes loyalty over lineage. He turns to Andrew, a man who, despite his controversies, has remained loyal to the crown. And he shuts Harry out. Think about that for a second. The king is willing to overlook Andrew's past because, in his eyes, loyalty matters more than anything else. More than blood. More than titles. And certainly more than whatever Harry and Meghan have been offering lately. And let's not pretend this is just a temporary setback for Harry. This is a clear message. His role within the monarchy is now more symbolic than functional. The palace insiders are saying it outright, Harry's not in the loop anymore. He's not part of the inner circle. And as long as Meghan's in the picture, that's not going to change. Now, some people might say, well, good for Harry and Meghan. They're carving out their own path, living their truth. Sure, fine. But let's not ignore the cost. Harry's not just walking away from royal duties. He's walking away from his family, his heritage, and, quite frankly, his identity. And for what? To follow Meghan's lead? To take on this combative, confrontational approach that's done nothing but isolate them further? Because let's be real, it's not working. The monarchy isn't crumbling under the weight of their criticism. If anything, it's doubling down. Look at King Charles. Look at the way he's handling this. He's not bending to public pressure. He's not letting Harry and Meghan dictate the narrative. He's making decisions that prioritize the institution over individuals. And whether you agree with him or not, you have to admit, it's a power move. And what about Harry? Where does he go from here? Because right now, he's on the outside looking in. And the longer he stays aligned with Meghan, the harder it's going to be for him to find his way back. But maybe that's the point. Maybe Harry doesn't want to come back. Maybe he's fully committed to this new path, no matter how isolating it might be. And if that's the case, then fine. But let's not pretend this is some great victory. Because from where I'm standing, it looks like a loss. A loss for Harry, who's given up so much. A loss for Meghan, whose attempts to reshape the monarchy have only made her more of an outsider. And a loss for the royal family, who've been forced to cut ties with one of their own. This isn't just a family feud. This is a full-scale implosion. And the fallout? It's only just beginning.